Jack Harlan's world shattered in a storm of gunfire and rain as he dove behind a crumbling boulder. The river's roar, barely masking the shouts of the outlaws hunting him. Dust exploded from the canyon walls, his horse dead 100 yards back, its body riddled with bullets. At 42, he'd seen enough death to know he was in deep trouble, but then he saw her, a woman struggling in the raging river below, her body twisting in the foam under a torrential downpour. 3 Apache warriors, bare-chested and rippling with muscle, stood in the shallow stream, their bronze skin glistening with rain and sweat. They held her arms pinned behind her back, her soaked, tight-fitting leather dress clinging to her fiery curves, accentuating every line of her defiant form. Her dark eyes blazed with fury as she fought their grip, water splashing around her legs. Was she their prisoner or something far more dangerous? Jack didn't hesitate. He fired a warning shot from his Colt, scattering the warriors, and plunged into the icy current, his bad shoulder screaming. The river tried to drag him under, but he reached her, pulling her free as bullets from unseen enemies cracked overhead. Who was this woman, and why did saving her feel like diving headfirst into a deadly trap? The Arizona Territory, 1875, was a brutal land of red rock mesas and endless skies, where Jack Harlan, a former Confederate scout, had carved out a solitary life, widowed by cholera, haunted by the loss of his wife and son. He'd fled to this valley to run cattle and escape his past. His cabin sat tucked between pines, miles from town, where silence was his only companion. That morning he'd been checking traps when the outlaws ambushed likely rustlers after his herd. Now, dragging this stranger from the river, her wrists still raw from ropes, he wondered if he'd just invited his own doom. He hauled her to the muddy bank, shielding her as shots rang out from the ridge. Her dress, torn at the neckline, revealed bruises and the curve of her chest heaving with shallow breaths. Apache, no question, her fierce beauty marked her as much as her defiance. "Stay low," Jack growled, returning fire with deadly precision. Dropping one shooter, the others vanished into the storm. He scooped her up strong, curvy, heavier than she looked, and staggered through the rain, his shoulder burning, to reach his cabin 2 miles away. Inside he laid her on his bed, piling blankets over her shivering form. She coughed up water, eyes flickering open, dark and unreadable. "You're safe," he said, lighting the fire with unsteady hands. Her name came later, in a whisper. Lyra. No more. Not yet. Jack didn't push, but questions burned. Why were those warriors holding her? Was she a victim, a fugitive, or something else entirely? The first danger struck that night. Jack was dozing when the cabin door rattled, a predator testing its prey. Lyra, despite her swollen ankle, sat up, eyes sharp. Shadows moved outside, the rustlers back with vengeance. "Give us the woman," one shouted. Jack's blood ran hot. How did they know her? He cracked the door and unleashed a barrage, his war-honed aim dropping one in a brutal gunfight. Bullets tore through the cabin's wood. Lyra limping past him, cartridges with steady hands. The remaining outlaws fled, but not before a bullet grazed Jack's thigh, blood soaking his pants. As he bandaged it, Lyra's touch on his arm was soft but firm. "They're after me," she said, voice low. Her silence sparked to what secret was worth this bloodshed. Days settled into a tense rhythm. Lyra's ankle, sprained from the river, kept her close, and Jack tended it, avoiding the way her torn dress hugged her thighs. She was maybe 25, her beauty wild, full lips, high cheekbones, curves that spoke of resilience. He gave her a flannel shirt. It hung loose, the collar slipping to reveal her collarbone. She moved with quiet grace, no shame in her gaze. "You don't talk much," she said one evening by the fire. "Words don't fix what's broken," Jack replied. Slowly, they shared fragments. His family lost to fever, her rejection of a tribal marriage. "My uncle called me a curse, threw me to the river," she confessed, eyes wet. Jack's fists clenched, but her story stirred him, awakening something buried. Was she truly innocent, or hiding a darker truth? The second danger came with a flash flood. Jack woke to the river's roar, water licking the cabin steps. "Move," he shouted, pulling Lyra from bed. Her body pressed against his as they waded through rising currents, debris slamming them. A branch nearly swept her away. Jack's grip held his muscles straining. They reached a rocky outcrop, soaked and shivering. In the storm's chaos, her lips found his fierce, desperate. "Why keep saving me?" she whispered. He didn't answer, but the kiss lingered, igniting questions. Was this love, or just survival's heat? Winter's frost cloaked the mesas, their bond growing. Lyra helped with chores, her limp fading. One dusk, they found a cave with Apache carvings. "My peoples," she murmured, fingers tracing symbols. Jack watched, drawn to her strength. That night she slipped into his bed, her warmth melting his isolation. They made love slowly, her hands on his scars, his lips on her neck. It was healing, raw, real, but doubts gnawed. What if her tribe came, or the rustlers returned? One random evening, as they repaired a fence under a crimson sky, Jack spotted riders ruthless seeking blood. He faced them alone, a savage gunfight erupting. His Colt blazed, dropping 3 in a storm of smoke and steel, his roar echoing like a lion's. Lyra watched, heart pounding, her trust in him unyielding. The victory was brutal, masculine, but left questions. Who was funding these attacks? The third danger hit during a town run. Jack left Lyra with a rifle, but returned to smoke and chaos. New bandits, maybe hired, torching the cabin. Lyra fired from within, holding them off. Jack charged, guns blazing in a high-noon showdown, dropping 2 with deadly shots. The leader sneered, her kin marked her for death. Jack ended him, blood pooling in the dirt. Lyra, trembling, confessed she'd taken a sacred amulet to save a child, sparking her uncle's betrayal. Timur surged, was her act noble, or a curse's trigger? Their days oscillated between tenderness and tension. Lyra brewed teas for Jack's aches, her fingers lingering. One starry night, they clashed. You deserve more than this wasteland, he said. I choose you, she retorted, tears falling. Passion reconciled them, her curves glowing in firelight as they entwined. But whispers of Apache raids and rustler gangs grew, hinting at a looming ambush. Another random scene. Crossing the river with cattle, a sudden surge dragged Jack under. Lyra dove in her strong strokes, saving him. On the bank, soaked, they kissed fiercely, her body pressed to his, cementing their bond amid danger. The fourth peril came in a blizzard, snow trapping them. Supplies ran low. Jack hunted, but wolves attacked, their jaws snapping. He fought with knife and gun, one beast tearing his arm before he killed it. Lyra nursed him, her fear raw. Don't leave me, she pleaded, love spilling out. In fevered pain, he confessed his terror of losing her. Their intimacy deepened, but scouts from her tribe lurked, plotting. One quiet moment by the fire, Lyra shared an Apache tale of lovers defying fate, teasing, tragedy or triumph. Jack pulled her close. Triumph always. Timur lingered. Would their story end in glory? The climax arrived with spring. Her tribe rode in at dawn, led by her uncle, demanding the amulet. She's a thief, he roared. Jack stood firm, rifle ready. A brutal shootout erupted, Jack dueling with cowboy grit, bullets flying as he dodged behind rocks, felling warriors with precise shots. Lyra, revealing the amulet, threw it into the fray, proving her innocence. She'd saved a child, not cursed her people. Her uncle's greed was exposed. Jack took a bullet to the chest, collapsing. Lyra's scream echoed. She fought, disarming a warrior with fierce grace. The elder intervened, honoring Jack's heroism. By our law, she's yours. Jack, bloodied but alive, rasped, we choose each other. Tears fell. The tribe blessed their union and left. Healing followed. Lyra pregnant, their child a symbol of rebirth. Townfolk whispered slurs. Squaw lover, but their love defied prejudice. One final random scene, Jack teaching Lyra to shoot, her laughter ringing as she hit a tin can. Their joy a quiet rebellion against the world's judgment. The fifth danger, her uncle. Unrepentant, ambushed alone at night. Jack wrestled him in a brutal fistfight, masculine fury unleashed, ending with a merciful knockout. The uncle fled, defeated. Years later, Jack and Lyra stood on the mesa, their son at their side, another child growing in her womb. We beat the world, Jack said. Lyra smiled, hand on her belly. Their journey from river rescue to unbreakable family-inspired tales across the territory. Love triumphs, even in the Wild West. What secrets had she carried? The question hooked viewers, urging them to stay till the credits rolled.